Welcome all. In this session, we will discuss about computer environments. What are the different types of environment that we are implementing through the computers. In our earlier session, we have discussed about introduction to the computers as well as we have implemented about computer systems. So how we can say what is a computer system and how we are able to implement these computer systems. Now let us go with the next one called computer environments. So let us see what is a computer environment and what are the different types of computer environments we are having. So whenever a computer is connected to any of the device, we can consider that one as the environment of that particular computer. So generally in our home, what is happening, we are having either a desktop computer or a laptop computer. So along with that particular computer, just as we are representing the computer on the computer table, the table might be consist of something like pen, a book or a paper or keyboard, mouse, speakers. So these are going to form the environment for the respective computers. Now generally where exactly we are living. Suppose if I am living in a particular office, so office is nothing but it consists of its own environment. So office consists of computers, office consists of employees, files, AC, server, and these all will be considered as the environment of the office. Now when it comes to the home contains its own environment. Something like it contains a hall, drawing room, kitchen, bedroom, and balcony, something like this will be considered as the environment of the house or the home. Now let me consider the environment of the park. Park contains something like benches, some grass, some components through which children are able to play, and contains some plants and trees. So this is nothing but the environment of the park. Now let me go with the environment of the beach. Contains something like sand and followed by seashore. So this will be considered as the environment of the beach. Similarly, when it comes to the computer environment, so we are having different environments with the computers. Now based on that particular computers, let us see. Computer environment is a collection of computers which are used to process and exchange the information to solve various types of computing problems. So something like my requirement is to watch a movie in a computer. So that is my task, that is my computing problem. So how we are going to implement? So you require a computer, nothing but the hardware of the computer, followed by, in order to play that particular movie, I require a software, and in order to listen to the sound, so you require speakers, and this will be the environment of the respective computer. Now what I want to do, as suppose I am working in a particular organization where every time I need to generate the tickets. Okay, so in that case what is happening, as ticket has to be getting printed, so what is happening, so I require a computer environment which consists of a computer followed by a printer which contains the connectivity with the computer. That is nothing but the environment of the computer. When we want to solve a problem using the computer, here computer uses various devices which work together to solve the problem. Suppose if I want to book a ticket through online, so what I need to do, I need to have a computer, I need to have a printer in order to print the ticket, and as I want to book the ticket through online, so the computer should contains internet connectivity, either through wired connection or through wireless connection. If it is wired connection, I require something like Ethernet cable, and if it is a wireless connection, now this particular computer should be connected to a router. Okay. There may be various ways to solve a problem. We use various number of computer devices arranged in a different ways to solve different problems. Something like if I want to, my task is to connect to the internet. So how to connect to the internet? Option number one, I can directly connect through the cable, something like Ethernet cable RJ45 as per our requirement. Then or else if my computer contains something like Wi-Fi device, so in that case what is happening, I can even connect to the computer through the router. Or else suppose if I am having any mobile devices, through the hotspot I can even connect it to the internet through the mobile data. Okay. Or else or any other something like router related components or the devices which is providing the signal in order to interact with the computers. In simple words, we can say that the arrangements of computer devices to solve the problem is said to be a computer environment. So solving a problem might be when it comes to the official problems kind of thing or official task kind of thing. So if I want to develop a simple or if I want to run a simple organization, simple company or a simple shop kind of thing where I just need to implement something like generating the bills for the purchase. So in that case I require a computer, I require a printer, and I require a barcode reader in order to generate the bills and print the bills. Okay. Suppose if I am running something like a multinational company or else a bigger organization of selling these particular goods. So in that case, what is happening, just like the malls, and I am having multiple branches of my shop kind of thing. So in that case, what is happening? So I need to store something like this particular product information based on the stock. So I will be handling a Godam where I'll be putting all my stocks in the respective Godam, and I need to check whether this particular stock is available or not for all these particular branches. Now in that case, what is happening? I require a server where it is going to handle or it is going to identify the stock of that particular product, and that particular information will be sent to all the branches. So in that case, I will be having one environment, something like distributed environment, where my system that is available in a particular branch is connected to a respective server. So let us see the respective types of environments that are available. So first one is personal computing environment, time sharing computing environment, client server computing environment, distributed computing environment, grid computing environment, and clustered computing environment. Now personal computing environment means generally we are aware of this particular thing. Either if you are the student, so you might be having the personal computer at your home or a laptop that can be carried as a mobile device. Okay. Or else when it comes to if you are a job holder, if you are working employee, so in that case what is happening, you will be having your own environment in the office in order to interact with the computer. Okay. So both are similar to the personal computers itself. So let us see personal computing environment. In personal computing environment, the computer program resides on standalone machine and executes from the same machine. So what are the task or what are the program or what are the application that I am interacting, that will be getting loaded or installed in the respective computer, and the entire data related to that particular application will be available in the same computer. Now example for this personal computing environment is nothing but laptop, mobile devices, printers, scanners, and the computer systems that we use at home or office. So these are some of the better examples for personal computing environment. Okay, where the entire product or the entire software is getting installed in one single system. Now coming back to time sharing environment. Now coming back to this particular time sharing environment, so take a small scenario, something like you are take a scenario something like you are in a reservation queue. Now you are the second person in order to book the tickets. Now what is happening? The first person is interacting with the reservation operator and he wants to book the tickets for the so and so plane or a bus or a train. Now in that case, the first candidate is not providing the enough change. Now in that case, what is happening? The operator asks the first person to provide the enough change. Then only the operator is handling the tickets to the first person. So what is happening? The first person is leaving the counter in order to bring the sufficient amount of change. Until the first candidate is coming or the first person is coming, so what is happening? The person who is standing after the first person, nothing but the second person, request will be getting processed by the respective operator. So without wasting the time. So here time is getting utilized. So unless the first person is going to bring the change, it might be taking something like a minute or a 2 or 10 minutes or in half an hour. So within this particular period of time, the operator is serving to the remaining candidates or nothing but the remaining persons. Okay. So this is how what is happening. The time is getting managed or the time is getting shared. Now coming back to here, time sharing computer environment is standalone computer in which a single user can perform multiple operations at a time by using multitasking operating system. Now if you go with something like command prompt, let me open the command prompt. This is nothing but single task. So we can implement only one single task at a time. So let me say something like cd/. So I am able to provide one single command at a time. So we are having a command called tree which is going to get the tree structure of this particular C drive. So now what I'll do, say enter. So we are getting this particular C drive. As I have installed the operating system in the C drive, so it contains multiple folders and files. Now what I want to do, I just want to say D drive. So D colon enter. Now it is not accepting that particular command. It is still executing the tree command. So until the tree command execution is completed, so it is not going to get into the D drive. Okay, yes. So once this particular command is completed, then only it is getting into this particular D drive, even though you have provided the command while you are executing the tree command. Now in that case, what is happening? We can say that this particular command prompt is single task. Now multitasking is nothing but I can go with something like Windows Media Player. So when I am opening this particular media player, so assume that some media is getting executed. When media is getting played, so what is happening? I can implement volume control up and down, where I am able to increase the volume and decrease the volume. So along with, you can see this particular progress bar. So where you can see this particular progress bar to the forward direction or in the reverse direction. So multitasking, or else our operating system is an multitasking application where operating system is running along with taskbar, desktop, date and time, volume control, network, and if you say task manager, you can see that user is running 6 applications. In the background, 81 applications. In order to run the operating system, it is going to run the 90 applications. So what is happening? Multiple applications are getting executed simultaneously. Here, processor time is divided among different tasks, and this is called time sharing. So take an example. If you are running something like 5 applications or 3 applications, so first application is running. Now due to any reason, first application execution is suspended. So the first application time will be shared to the second application. So second application will be getting executed. So here a time period will be getting provided for each and every application. In order to execute, all these particular applications are executing simultaneously or executing at a time. Okay. For example, a user can listen to the music while writing something in the text editor, or a browser where you are browsing some content in the internet, as well as you are downloading some content. Not only that one, copying the data from the pen drive to the system or system to the pen drive. All these particular operations can be implemented, and these will be the examples for the multitasking. Now Windows 95 and the earlier versions of Windows or Windows operating system or iOS or Linux operating systems are the examples of this particular multitasking or multi-computing environment. Something like, you can see, if I am saying Alt Tab, you can see what is happening. These are the applications that are getting executed simultaneously. Or this is one more thing, Windows Tab. So here we can see that the multiple number of applications are getting executed simultaneously. Let's go with the next one called client server computing. So client server is an environment where the application or the data will be available in the server, and client consists of its own software. The software will be getting installed in the client system, through which what is happening, client is communicating with the server. Example, we are having something like Facebook server. So when it comes to the Facebook, it contains its own server and it contains its own data. Now whenever clients wants to interact with that particular Facebook through the desktop, from the desktop it contains a browser. Using the browser, we can interact with the Facebook application. Now if you are using the mobile devices, so what is happening, it contains its own app called Facebook app, through which we are able to interact with the Facebook server. Not only this one, Gmail server, or the app that we have installed on the Android device, something like Gmail, which is interacting with the Gmail application on the server, where we are able to send and receive the information from the client and server. Not only this one, through the banks, so you are having the bank server, and the ATMs contains its own application. So the ATM application is communicating with the bank server whenever we are interacting with the ATMs. Okay, so this environment contains 2 machines, nothing but client and server, where the information is exchanged between them. So every time client is sending the request to the server, and server is responding to that particular request and providing the appropriate information to the client. Here client is a normal computer like PC, tablet, mobile, and server is a powerful computer which stores the data or the information, and the client requests for data to the server, and server provides the data to the client through a protocol called HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Now let us go with the next one called distributed computing. Now when it comes to the distributed computing, your application is getting distributed into multiple computers. Now in that case, what is happening? Let us consider about an application called, let me say, YouTube kind of thing, Google kind of thing. Google is an application which is going to search the data. Now coming back to this particular Google, let me go with the YouTube kind of thing. So we are browsing the YouTube and you are searching the data. So whenever you are searching the data based on the keywords, the application server is going to search the content based on the information that you have provided in the search bar. Now once the content is found, now the cursor is navigating to the storage server, data server. From that the video is getting loaded into your application. Now similarly, we are having some videos. In order to view that particular videos, you need to sign into this particular Google account or YouTube account. So this particular thing will be getting processed by the application server. So the application server contains the application which contains login information as well as searching information. Now once you are getting logged in to the respective YouTube account or the Gmail account, then what is happening? The requested video will be getting played or rendered or received from the YouTube data server. So what is happening? Client is having its own application called browser. Now first the information will be sent to the application server. From the application server, the information will be sent to the data server. From the data server, the data will be retrieved and the data will be delivered to the end user. So in the distributed computing, simply we can say that one single application is distributed into multiple computers. In this environment, the complete functionality of a software is not on single computer but is distributed among multiple computers, and these computers will communicate with each other over a network, over the network. Here we can use a method of computer processing in which different programs of an application run simultaneously on two or more computers, where the data is distributed among these systems which is logically related to each other. We know that we are in India, we are having couple of Google servers, okay, Gmail servers kind of thing. So something like in Delhi or Hyderabad or Chennai or Kolkata or Pune or any of the major cities, I assume that Gmail contains its own server. Now if I am logging from Hyderabad, so I am able to interact with my account. If I am logging from Delhi, I am able to interact with my account. If I am logging from Pune or Bangalore or Chennai or Kolkata, I am able to interact with my account. So in that case, what is happening? Here it consists of multiple servers which are maintaining only one single application. So not only these particular servers are available in India, these servers are available in worldwide. So in that case, what is happening? All these particular servers or the computers are executing only one single application called Gmail. Here we use a method of computer processing in which different programs of an application run simultaneously on two or more computers, where the data is distributed among these systems which is logically related to each other. All the computers are interacting with executing the same application, where the data is related to the same application. So multiple computers are executing this particular data. Here you can see we are having user desktop and manager is managing this particular application as well as managing the work done by this particular employees. Followed by you are having a dedicated server which is connected to all these particular things, application server as well as database server. Application server is used to implement or execute the logics. Data server contains the information or the data of the respective application, and dedicated server which is responsible for communicating all the devices. Similar to this particular distributed applications, under some categories we can call one of the category as grid computing environment. Grid computing is a collection of computers from different locations. As we have discussed about Gmail server is available in multiple locations. So if I am considering about distributed computing, nothing but in an office it contains only one single server or more than one single server, and all the clients, nothing but the employees who are developing the application, are interacted with these particular servers. Now when it comes to the grid, what is happening? These particular servers are provided in remote locations. All this computer works on a common problem or the common task. A grid can be described as distributed collection of large number of computers working for a single application. Example, something like NASA, where these particular satellites are distributed throughout our globe, throughout the earth, and all these particular satellites works for a single similar task or multiple tasks. Example can be considered as the Google server, where the servers are located in multiple remote locations. Clustered computing environment. Clustered computing is a collection of interconnected computers, and these computers work together to solve a single problem, similar to this particular grid computing. In clustered computing, the collection of systems work together as a single systems. Something like weather report. So here multiple satellites, multiple computers, multiple client computers are going to work for the single task, nothing but weather report kind of thing. Or else some of the satellites are identifying whether the comets are interacting with the coming towards the earth, or whether they are going to interact with the earth kind of thing. So what is happening, based on the single task, what is happening, multiple computers are getting executed in order to implement a single system. Okay, these are nothing but clustered computing. Okay, now these are the different types of something like computer environments that we have discussed right now. So as for the next topic, we will go with something like computer programming, something like programming languages under the computer. Thank you.